Hello, this is a free download from BBC Radio 7. Aren't you modern? For more information about Newsjack, plus details on how to write for it, visit www.bbc.co.uk/radio7. For details on how to actually write, you'll have to go somewhere else.
Hello, and welcome to Newsjack, winner of the Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Children's Story, Topical Comedy Podcast or Audiovisual Suicide Note. This week in the news, Tory frontbencher Eric Pickles, everyone's favourite bundle of fun and meat, has announced plans to let councillors veto large salaries for council executives. Obviously, we all have to tighten our belts, although in Eric's case that's nothing more than an impossible dream. Also this week, the government announced they have cut flood defence funding by 8%. When asked whether this was a cause for concern, the Environment Minister Richard Benyon said, "Not really, I live on a hill." Scientists have noticed that UV light is affecting paintings by Van Gogh by turning the yellow paint brown, which is bad news for his sunflowers, even worse news for his wheat field with a lark, and potentially fatal for his seminal jaundiced Pac-Man eating a banana. In news to gladden the heart and put a spring in the step of every honest Englishman, it's been revealed that Guy Ritchie's house has been taken over by squatters. Guy has refused to meet a representative of the squatters, saying if he wanted to listen to the deluded mystical ramblings of a social parasite, he wouldn't have bothered to get divorced. We at Newsjack will carry on asking the questions no one else does. I was asked recently if I thought that modern technology was leading to a loss of verbal communication skills. Or at least what the person actually asked me was, what do you think about the internet and that? To which I felt compelled to answer, I know, whatever. Frankly, by the end of the interview, I no longer even wish to be the new communications director of Number 10. On with the show! This week, David Cameron relaunched his Big Society idea again, meaning it has now been launched more times than the infamous SS Boomerang. But many critics complain they simply can't get a handle on what it is. To help us understand, please welcome Director of the Big Society Initiative, Steve Moore. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Miles.
So, the Big Society, surely it's just a cover for huge cuts in public spending?
Look, Miles, Big Society isn't a cover for anything. Allow me to explain it to you using a metaphor. The Big Society isn't just a plaster you use to cover up any problems. It's one of those fun, colourful plasters, you know, with little cartoon characters on it that cheer you right up and make it so you barely mind that you've got a cut at all, or even quite glad you got the cut in the first place. Is that clear?
As clear as pixelated footage of mud. Now, look, can you just explain in frank terms what the Big Society is?
It's like a beautiful painting you hang over a tear in the wallpaper. We're all the artists, and the gold leaf frame is local government keeping it all together.
Can you just tell me, frankly, what it is?
It's a cool flannel placed over the head of the...
No, it's not, though, is it? It's not.
It's a caravan parked on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's a plant pot, with the face of Anthea Turner singing, "We'll meet again."
It isn't.
It's a nectar card with the legs of a spider.
Can I just stop you there, Mr. Moore? I'm sorry, but getting a straight answer from you is like pushing an elephant up the stairs.
I'm sorry, Miles, I don't really follow you.
Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi is not so much a professional politician as the result of a ghastly genetic experiment involving Robert Maxwell, DNA scraped from an old razzle, and the ghost of Sid James. In Italy, tens of thousands of women protested against Berlusconi and called for him to resign. It's all right, Silvia, they're probably just playing hard to get. Saucy little minxes. Berlusconi is currently in the middle of the so-called Ruby affair, and we here at Newsjack would like to offer our congratulations to the Italian Prime Minister on his 40th sex charge trial. How to celebrate such a landmark? How about an evening out in an environment that's perfect for a classy guy like Silvio? A Saturday night ITV game show.
Welcome back to Take Me Out. Who's ready for our next contestant? Let the pasta see the pesto. Single man, reveal yourself. Hey ho, Silvio. What do you look for in a woman?
Breasts and impartiality.
Yeah. Steady on, fella. So, ladies, do you think Silvio is a prime minister or something more sinister? Remember, no likey, no lighty. Ruth, you left your lights on. What do you make of Silvio?
Well, I like his funny little voice and the way he looks like a baby tomato in a suit. And even though I don't usually like Welshmen, I can see he's got a cheeky side.
Well, we'll have to see now, won't we? Lucy, you've left your lights on. What do you think?
Well, thing is, right, he's short, fat, ugly, and obviously, like, really old, right? But he looks loaded. So, for that reason, let's go bunga bunga!
So, Silvio, the girls know everything about you. But what would you like to know about the girls?
2 things. How old and how much?
So much has happened in the news this week. The people of Egypt said goodbye to over 30 years of living under an oppressive military regime, and there were celebrations in the streets in the news that it was to be replaced with the same military regime. Now, in an inappropriately named coup for Newsjack, we go over to Cairo. Tariq Abrams has been there throughout the seismic events that have propelled his plucky little country onto the front pages. Mr. Abrams, you must be very proud.
Hello, thank you for having me. It is a welcome change from the typically patronizing attitude of the Western media.
Oh, not at all. We love helping out little people. Now, what's the mood like out there?
Happy.
Of course it is. You're proper democracy now, aren't you? Go you, bow to the people. Fist bump.
Yes, we have stood up to our oppressors and vanquished them. We have struggled and now stand shoulder to shoulder with those in power.
Yes, you did, you clever little Egypt, you.
We don't need these patronizing comments. We have grown together as a people, and we are free.
Oh, you sound like you are an absolute sausage. Everybody's talking, but I don't hear a word they're saying, is not a phrase commonly used by executives at the News of the World. Here at Newsjack, we have our own dinky, cute and completely illegal device that allows us to listen into voicemails all over the country and eavesdrop about what you, the public, are saying to each other. Built by our finest computer scientists using the awesome processing power of a 1981 BBC Micro, we call it the Jack app. Let's see what's going on out there.
The Jack app.
Please leave your message after the tone.
I don't understand why they've spent all that money sending astronauts on a simulated mission to Mars. If they've got to get used to a place with no atmosphere, why don't they just go to Reading?
On Monday morning, I brought my girlfriend breakfast in bed. She said, "The cereal's soggy, the toast is burned and the tea is weak, and for those reasons, I'm out." I hate Valentine's Day.
500 million to build it. Now I hear they want to tear it down, spend another 100 million on reconstruction. What I want to know is, when will Kerry Katona's stomach finally be completed?
Hello? I'm calling from St. Jude's Hospital. Could someone please change my bedpan?
Hello? Hello? Tony? It's me, Hosni. Listen, Mrs. Mubarak and I have been talking. It's maybe best if this year we come to you.
This week, the BAFTA Awards were handed out, recognising the best in British film. Although I was disappointed to see nothing for my favourite feature, Andy Coulson's I Know What You Did Last Summer. Sweeping all before it was The King's Speech, the story of a man who has to overcome a stammer in order to achieve greatness. Although I'd have thought the disadvantage of having a stammer was more than outweighed by the advantage of looking like Colin Firth. A man who's been talked about so much recently that Newsjack now has its very own Colin Firth correspondent, Lydia Wetshirt. Lydia, what's the latest news?
Terrible news, Miles. According to my sources, Colin Firth hasn't won an award for at least 10 minutes now.
Oh, good grief. How has this been allowed to happen?
Frankly, Miles, there just aren't as many prizes being handed out these days. He's cleaned up at the BAFTAs and the Golden Globes, even won an unexpected Brit Award, a Grammy and a Mobo.
Whatever that is.
But 253 different awards are simply not enough to adequately reflect the absolutely gorgeous yumminess of Colin Firth's performance. It's that good.
There must be something the public can do.
There is, please. Please, if you have any awards you're not using at the moment, swimming certificates, Girl Guide badges, even something completely useless like media degree, please, just do send them to Colin's agent. They might just be enough to keep him going.
Well, I've got my old Duke of Edinburgh award. It's unlikely I'll ever use it to be Duke of Edinburgh, so he's welcome to that.
Colin will be thrilled, Miles.
Marvellous. Well, the question I get asked most often, apart from why the beard, is why aren't you on TV more? Often the answers to both are mind your own business, mother. However, last week I was singled out to audition for the job of replacing Denise Van Outen on Channel 5's new magazine show, OK TV. So let's have a listen to my audition tape.
Right, Miles, we're ready for a take, so do you want to have a go at the introduction?
Hello, everybody. You're watching Channel 5, and frankly, we're just grateful for the attention. My name's Miles Jupp, and this is OK TV. Sorry, do I have to say OK here?
Yeah, it's the name of the show.
Yeah, but it's a bit... couldn't we zip it up a bit? How about, you're watching Jolly Good TV?
Not really, no.
The Pip Pip show?
No.
By Jove Tonight. Crikey, that's an excellent shot, Jeeves at 6.
No. Look, the thing is, Miles, yeah, Channel 5 is now owned by Richard Desmond, and so he owns the magazine OK, hence the title OK TV, right?
Or Spiffing Saturday. The Wizzo Brief.
Look, there is one more possibility, all right? Mr. Desmond used to own this one, right? We might be able to get the rights back.
I'm listening.
What do you say to Horny Housewives TV? No, wait, I got it. Horny Housewives with Miles Jupp.
It's already being made, I'm afraid. BBC 3. Still no news, but I'm holding out. This week we learned that Prince William has chosen his brother Harry as best man. I was in with the shot, but there we go. Nepotism rears its ugly head once more. It was also announced that Prince William was planning to have his stag in the UK until Prince Philip shot it. As with all serious media outlets, from Hello Magazine all the way down to the Daily Express, we here at Newsjack have hired our very own royal weddings correspondent. In fact, let's go and meet her. So this is Julia, who was chosen as our special wedding correspondent. There was strong competition for this coveted role in the Newsjack camp, I can tell you.
I lost at paper, scissors, stone.
Since the announcement last November, Julia has been utterly dedicated to keeping her finger on the wedding pulse. Not a detail has passed her by.
What's today?
It's Thursday.
I meant what year?
So what's the latest scoop, Julia?
Kate Middleton has picked 4 bridesmaids and 2 page boys. I have a 2-1 in investigative journalism and politics.
4 bridesmaids. Brilliant. Any news on a seating plan?
No. Please let me out.
Well, better let you get back to it. We'll check back in a few weeks, no doubt. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? Only 2 months, 12 days to go. This week sees the announcement of the referendum on AV, a vote to change the electoral system of Great Britain, and not, it turns out, the vote to decide once and for all which is the video channel on your television. But how is all this political turmoil affecting Nick Clegg's home life?
I'm home, darling.
Nick, did you remember the milk? You promised me you'd stop and buy some?
Yes, I did make that promise, and it was made in good faith. But unforeseen circumstances have left me unable to follow through with my well-intentioned pledge.
I see.
Have you got a cold? I can't catch it. I have to sit uncomfortably close to David Cameron in Parliament.
Well, what happened to in sickness and in health?
That was a vow I did make at that moment in time, and I meant it sincerely. But unfortunately, things change. We didn't win the election, we have to compromise. We have to accept it and change accordingly.
Nick, remember you promised not to slam your head repeatedly in the fridge door?
Yes, I did. But that was back before we saw the extent of the previous government's deficit.
Nick, stop it. Let's just forget all the promises and pledges and just sit down and have a nice cup of tea together.
I can't stay, I'm afraid. I'm supposed to be giving a talk to some local councillors. I have to be there in 5 minutes. I promised.
Okay, I'll put the kettle on then.
2 sugars, please.
This week it was announced that television channels must broadcast the logo of a large letter P before any programmes that contain instances of product placement. But like pornography or regional accents, it simply won't work on the radio. So instead, any radio shows containing product placement will feature this automated sound. It's quite simple. All I need to do is say Coca-Cola. There you go. That should keep us on our toes. Now, in other news, David Beckham's $25 million claim for libel against allegations that he slept with a prostitute has been rejected by an American judge. With me to discuss this is Newsjack's legal correspondent, Sue Indiscriminately. Welcome, Sue.
Good evening, Miles.
Now, Beckham is obviously a big name in America ever since his signing to LA Galaxy.
You can't say that. It's product placement.
Galaxy?
Advertising chocolate?
It's ridiculous. It's just his team's name. It wasn't like I said, I love the delicious taste of cat...
Don't!
Right, okay, good point. Now, back to the interview. David Beckham's spokesman is Philip Sheen. Do you think Mr. Sheen gave a good...
Can you try and get through this interview without mentioning any more brand names, please, Miles?
Yes, of course. It should only take a jiffy. That's not even what it's called anymore. Look, let's just quit while we're ahead. Sue indiscriminately, thank you.
No worries, Miles, and I think you should take a break.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Maybe I did, Miles. And maybe it's Maybelline.
The Jack app.
Please leave your message after the tone. I was all for the big society at first, but now they've started firing people from the army. I'm not so sure. Looking after a library is one thing,